Top aide to former First Lady Jill Biden has pleaded the Fifth Amendment, opting not to answer any questions regarding former President Joe Biden's health and cognitive state during his term in the White House. Anthony Bernal, who was Jill Biden's chief of staff, was asked if President Biden was fit to exercise the duty of president. He was asked, did President Biden ever instruct you to lie about his health? And he did not want to answer. And Adam, this comes just days after the former president's doctor, Kevin O'Connor, also pleaded the Fifth Amendment, deciding not to answer questions about Biden's health or cognitive abilities while in the White House. Are you surprised?
Well, no. Look, I mean, it seems like it was even worse, I think, than many of us suspected when Biden was president. I mean, you've got these fairly senior people who don't want to say anything at all. Now, it's possible that they're just treating the process with contempt, but it's, I think, more likely that they just don't want to have to lie, so they just choose not to say anything, which is their right in the US, of course. But yeah, the auto pen issue is just extraordinary. There was, of course, a Biden interview recently with the New York Times, and he hardly helped the situation by basically saying, yeah, I just gave an oral okay to some list that other people compiled. That's one of the most extraordinary powers of the US president to pardon people, and he wasn't really paying full attention to it. And it raises questions of, to what level was he engaged with what was going on in the US government? And as one recent constitutional scholar at Georgetown said, this is one of the greatest constitutional scandals in the history of the US. You had a mentally unfit president, in all likelihood, who was not really running the administration. Some other people who are entirely unelected were, and we still don't really know who they are. So it's it's an extraordinary chapter. Just a reminder too, Trump turned 79 recently, and is still very sharp, it seems, for all his eccentricities. But so it's not so much age; it's the mental state of the person. A lot of people say Biden was too old. Well, he's not that much older than Trump. I think it's more about your mental state and. Yeah, so that's
a good point, because you look at Donald Trump, you look at his energy, you look at how sharp he is, he's across the detail. There's no question who is running the country. Completely different story when you look at Joe Biden. And that auto pen scandal, as you say, it is just absolutely wild. It raises so many questions. The fact that the auto pen was used to pardon Fauci, members of the Biden family. The White House is now investigating this, but it's unbelievable. Adam Creighton, thank you so much for your time. Great to talk to you.
Likewise. Thanks for having me.